It's your boy, Livewire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, baby. Today I wanted to just do a quick topic on Gears of War. Now, there's been a lot of chatter in the streets that somehow people believe Gears of War flopped because its first week physical sales were like 600,000. Now, let's be real, people. All right, let's be honest with ourselves. 600,000 physical is a good number, especially in the day and age when a lot of people are moving to digital. Now, a lot of PlayStation guys try to project their feelings about physical versus digital onto Xbox guys. And the reality is we view these topics completely different. To be honest, most PlayStation people or people that own PlayStation have a 500 gigabyte hard drive. 500 gigabytes. Not 1 terabyte, not 2 terabyte. The average PlayStation guy has solely a 500 gigabyte hard drive. All right. So these guys buy more physical because they have to. They have no option to get an external drive. The only other option they have is to plug in or buy another hard drive and basically operate on their PS4 and pop that bad boy in, which is all well and good. If you're willing to do it, more power to you. But see, the thing is, just because that's how you decide to live your life as a gamer with those type of options doesn't mean that somebody who lives in the Xbox space, they play on Xbox, that's where they primarily play. That doesn't mean that they have to limit themselves to the PlayStation options. I think that's where people kind of get lost and mixed up. All right, look, currently I have a 5 terabyte hard drive attached to my Xbox One. Prior to that, I had a 2 terabyte hard drive attached to my Xbox One. And before that, I had a 1 terabyte. See what I'm saying? Multiple connections. One of them came straight from the 360 era, and I just dropped that all off on the Xbox One, right? Because in 360 they let us get external hard drives. They only allowed up to like 15 gigabytes, and then they bumped that up to like 30 something, right? And that was a 360 life, mind you. We had external hard drives back then with 360. Then sometime, I'm trying to remember, it was like I'm not sure if it was a full year, but in that first year, we got the ability to use external hard drives. Ever since then, I have stopped erasing games off of my hard drive because I had enough space for it, right? Now, currently, any game that I download automatically gets downloaded to my external drive. So even if my Xbox breaks, something happens, whatever the fuck, I don't even have to worry about re-downloading these games. They're on my external. I just take the old Xbox out, put the new one in, plug in the external hard drive, bada bing, bada boom, there I go. All my games. See what I'm saying? Like, it's very fucking easy. But you can't do that shit with PlayStation. You see what I'm saying? So you can't really put the PlayStation space with the Xbox space. So this whole idea, like, well, Uncharted sold 2 million, whatever, in its first week, or I don't know if it's a week or whatever the case is. Yeah, that's all well and good. But the difference is you got to realize that PlayStation doesn't have great bandwidth or downloading. So their downloads also take longer, even if you have a really good internet. All right. And then on top of that, they really have the issue with space. Where Xbox, you don't have the issue with space, you don't have the issue with downloads, and on top of that, most people either on Xbox or PlayStation that do download games, I bet you most of them pre-order them. So when you're planning to download a game, you usually download it prior to this launch so you can play it right then and there at 12 o'clock. So this whole idea was like, oh, well, I got to wait all day for a game to download. On Xbox, it downloads in the background. So I'm not even worried about the shit. I could download that shit a month ago, and played a whole bunch of games, been online, do all that shit, and then when it's ready, it's ready. I'm not fucking worried about it. You see what I'm saying? It's not a fucking big deal. So this whole idea that Gears of War flopped, you cannot put your thoughts on Gears of War flopping into an Xbox space when you're thinking, so your thought process solely comes from PlayStation. It doesn't work that way. It's just two different lifestyles in which people live when you have an Xbox versus a PlayStation. I mean, it's true. I'm not saying that's in all cases. Some people play their Xboxes no differently than they would play their PlayStation. Why? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Some people just, they don't plug their TV up to the Xbox. They just have it, well, they plug their TV up, but they don't plug their cable box up to it. So it's just like, when the Xbox is off, it's off. They don't play it at all. It's, some people just don't do it because they don't know. Some people just don't do it because with satellite TV, sometimes there's issues with that. So if you have satellite TV, the latency sometimes is, acts up. Like Direct TV, I think maybe Dish has the same issue. A lot of those satellite TV cable providers, they give, they have issues when it comes to, getting that direct feed into the Xbox in order to control your channels. Like when it works, but when it's acting funky, it is what it is. So, I understand people that don't use it like that, but like this, I mean, I've just been hearing the conversations, like people are just like, well, Gears of War was a flop. It sold 600,000 copies in the first week, compared to, I think, Judgment, which showed 1.8, I think it was, and I think the Ultimate Edition sold 1.1. I think it was something like that. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, but you're also not looking at the fact that this is the first Gears, well, not the first, but this is the first, new Gears, I should say, that is coming out day and date with physical and digital. All the other ones, the physical came out first, and at a minimum, maybe like a month later, the digital was out. And that was like for Judgment. That wasn't even for part 3. That was for Judgment, because they didn't have, during part 3, I don't believe they even had digital. You couldn't buy it digital until late into the Xbox 360's life. So this whole thought process of like, oh, well, I mean, the game flopped because of 600,000 copies day one. I mean, week one. Shit is preposterous, Like you really gotta use your brain, Like I don't understand how people don't see this shit. I really don't. I really don't get how you don't see it. Like you completely ignore the fact that we're more so in the digital age, especially when it comes to games on Xbox. Now, does that mean that all games are going to sell well on the Xbox One digitally versus PS3? I don't know. But what I can say is that, just looking at the amount of people that bought Gears Ultimate, you can't tell me all these people bought Gears Ultimate but then fell asleep on Gears 4. That shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Especially the fact that a lot of these people that were hyped for Gears 4, I mean, for hyped when they got Gears 1, and then they got the backwards compatible collection, and then a lot of those people turned around and got Gears 4. A lot of those people, And like I said before, people that don't buy physical are mostly gamers that don't have to. I mean, like you can't, like, yes, do they buy more physical on PlayStation? Yes, but you got to understand their hard drive space is not the same. They do not have the same available, like literally. I can just go, somebody can give me an external hard drive. I don't have to buy it. They can just be like, oh man, I don't need this shit here. I got an external hard drive just sitting on my fucking desk. How many terabytes is this? This is a Toshiba. What's the terabytes? Where's this shit at? Not a 1. If it's not a 1, it's close to. But it's just sitting here. I'm not fucking using it. I already have one in my computer. I have one in my fucking Xbox. And I have one in the Xbox in my bedroom. Like, I don't, like, they're not hard to find. You can just, like, shit. They're everywhere. I mean, most people get them. If you're a student, a lot of times they give you external hard drives so you can do your schoolwork. I'm not saying every college does that, but every college or high school does that, but a lot of them do. You know, the ones that, you know, are more tech savvy. So I mean, like, this whole idea, like, people like not doing digital, I don't fucking get that. Like where do you motherfuckers live? like people barely buy movies because you could get digital. Now, the only movies that I see people buying right now are 4K, and that's only because the quality of the movie is drastically improved over, you know, digital. And that's only if you have a TV to actually present it, you know. That's really the case. If you got a TV good enough to really show off some serious 4K, then more than likely you probably would go out and run out and get a 4K Blu-ray if you have a 4K Blu-ray player. Why not? You know, you're gonna get some shit that's gonna blow your mind. That's what the whole thing is, right? But it's just like this thought process, this idea that, you know, Gears just flopped. It's just, man, it's so baffling. It's so baffling. I don't know if it's just straight fanboyism. Like, is it really that bad? Like, are you really that delusional or that hung up on Xbox that you got to find something? And you know what the funny thing is? It's not only the ponies. It's the fucking neutrals. These motherfuckers that say, well, I like Xbox, but I could tell it flopped. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But like, do you know anybody that bought the game physical? Well, no, but I'm just saying, we know that more people buy physical than digital. How the fuck do you know? Because think about it this way. I'm damn for sure if we got 20 some odd or 30 some odd Xbox Ones out there, at least about 2 million of those people are fucking hardcore. At least 2 million. Meaning that they buy damn near anything that's Xbox related. I don't think that's a big stretch. Saying like less than 10% of your gamer base is a hardcore gamer, meaning you buy whatever fucking exclusive comes out. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think that's a stretch right there. So with that being said, if you factor in the fact that you have about at least 2 million people that are hardcore that will buy Gears, right? Day one, maybe not the $90 one, but the first week one, right? At least 2 million of these people. And you know that this is a game that you plan to keep. See, when you have a game that you don't plan to keep, then you're not really a hardcore. Most hardcores keep their games. Maybe not all of them, but there's games for more than not, you keep the games that you plan to play, right? Like me personally, I bought Halo, Master Chief Collection. I bought Halo 5. I bought Gears of War Ultimate. I bought Gears of War 4. I bought Forza. I bought Sunset Overdrive. I bought Quantum Break. I buy all my games that I plan to play more than once digital. I bought Rise, physical and digital. Bought Rise first, physical, because I heard a lot of shit about it. Everybody was like, oh, the game is shit. The game is shit. The game is shit. The reviews weren't great. So I said, fuck it. Why would I spend all this money on a game that I just want to play and then give back? Bought it for day one, $60. Played it. I was like, damn, this game is hot. But I already beat it, blah, blah, blah. You know, traded it in for fucking Battlefield 4. That was a fucking mistake. Had Battlefield 4 for a little bit, traded that shit in, fucking got Sunset. Did I get Sunset Overdrive with that shit? No, I think I got Grand Theft Auto because I think that came out in the same period, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it came out a year after. Fuck, I can't remember. But whatever, I traded in Battlefield 4 and I got some other game and shit. And then wound up going back and buying Rise later. Because as much as I was like, I heard all the reviews and it said it was shit. And yes, the issues are there, but the two main issues it has is you can't switch weapons and you have a lot of the same fucking characters. I get that. That being said, the game is fucking dope. And so I went back and bought the shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, most hardcore people buy their games. And since then, I haven't really bought. I think the last physical game I bought was Doom. And it was because I knew I wasn't going to play that game like that. I bought it, I beat it, and I said, fuck it. And I knew I wasn't playing Doom's multiplayer because I played the multiplayer before I bought it. And I was just like, this is okay, but Halo shits on this. I'm not playing this. See what I'm saying? Like, and the same thing happened with Gears. See, the thing different from Gears multiplayer and Halo's multiplayer is Halo is more geared towards everybody. It's very inclusive. You don't have to be a G and do okay in Halo. You might get your ass whooped, but guess what? You'll do decent enough. You might get 4 kills, whatever. Gears is fucking. You take some time off of that. That's just a motherfucking bloodbath, man. It is what it is. Unless you're gonna just play with your friends. I mean, you could do that too, but Gears is hardcore, man. I mean, shit is fucking messy, man. But you got to understand, people that really like Gears are gonna buy that game. There's no fucking way you're gonna tell me these people that went out and bought Gears tattoos and all this Gears fucking patches and all this Gears shit, they just were like, you know what, I might just pass on it on the first week. Fuck it. No, bitch, they bought that shit digital because they plan to keep it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have that game forever. You're gonna buy it digital. And I'm pretty sure they don't even count the digital copies that come with the console. So this fucking idea that people didn't just rush out and buy physical is like, yeah, if you living in, like, all right, let me put it this way. If this was Uncharted, that shit would be bad. Why? Because PlayStation guys don't buy digital as much as Xbox guys do, for the simple fact that they don't have the space on their hard drive to do it. They just don't. All right. So for that simple fact alone, that they don't have enough hard drive space, they're more inclined to buy physical so they can play their games, without dealing out a lot of fucking data into their hard drive. It's fucking easy to understand. I don't get it. Even a lot of these fucking big YouTube personalities that you hear, they talk about not having changed their internal hard drive. So they only are rocking with 500 gigabytes of fucking hard drive space on their PlayStation. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 here has the 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, but for the most part, nah, they don't. Even the fucking, I don't even think the fucking the Pro has 2 terabytes, which is fucking odd. It's just odd. I mean, 1 is okay, but shit, I mean, man, if I could show you my Xboxes. Well, hold up. Let me see if I can fucking pull that bitch up right now. Let me see. I'll show you what motherfucker working with real quick. This shit. Look, man. You got to tire screen. Yeah, share that shit. Yeah, hide that shit. Share this shit. Yes. All right, let me get my controller real quick. What the fuck? Stop showing shit. All right. So let's see. Let's look at no bitch. What are you fucking popping this shit up for? Connect this shit. Yes, stream it. Yeah, continue.
I think that was pandering because.
Yeah, shut up. All right, there we go. What are them games? There we go. All right, so let's look at it. So I got 3 terabytes of free space, right? In total, I got 5 on my external. I don't even fucking use really my hard drive for anything other than apps. I just pretty much put my apps on there, right? So, and these are games on here, like literally on here. Like, look at all this shit. These games, some games I don't even fucking play. I just download them and just leave them. Like this, I played for half a second, just left that shit. Actually, I'm about to jump back into Mass Effect. Like, look at this shit. It's games. All these fucking games. You can't have all these goddamn games on fucking PlayStation. You can't. You literally cannot. All right. You cannot have all these games on PlayStation. So with that being said, you got to understand they live in a different space. They live in a different, their console just operates different. So it is what it is. So you can't walk around talking all this, spewing all this dumb shit about fucking Gears of War flop because it didn't do the same physical as it did 7 years ago. Like, no, it wouldn't, would it? I mean, like, that's fucking retarded. That's like telling a person that has a Mac computer that fucking apps aren't as important because your computer is on Windows. Like, the fuck? Like, yo, this is a complete different operating system. Yes, Windows has apps too, but everybody knows when it comes to apps, Mac is like, they on that shit like that. You know what I mean? There's no denying it. Mac is like the king of fucking running shit with apps. So just because people don't run apps like that on fucking standard computers does not mean that the apps aren't important and they have no. Well, fuck apps. What do you need an app for? Just fucking. Well, what's the point in that? Why have an app? Just fucking do the website. Whatever the case is. It's like, no, bitch. It depends on what the user needs. What the system requires. You can't fucking equate the same shit that goes on in PlayStation to Xbox. You can't. I mean, and if you do, it's just foolish. And I don't know if you're fucking stupid or a goddamn pony. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's one of the two or two in the same. It's just funny, man. It's just, I don't know. Now, like, what I feel is like, all right, it's like, if it doesn't work for me, it can't work for you type of syndrome. Right? That's what it is. That's what it really is. Like, people on that own PlayStations tend to buy more physical, and that's fine, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But to deny the fact that Xbox gamers tend to buy more digital just because people on PlayStation buy more physical is rather asinine. And you know what a simple fact will tell you is I remember there was somebody on NeoGAF not too long ago was, talking shit about Xbox not selling not Xbox, Halo 5 not selling because its physical count was at 1.8. Its physical count was at 1.8 on whatever the fuck website he was looking at it on. And then Frank O'Connor, Mr. 343 himself, came out and said, oh, we had 5 million 3 months in. Mind you, This dude was talking to the guy on NeoGaf in like June. So that's way past 3 months after Halo launched, which I launched in October. See what I'm saying? So you can't tell me digital sales don't fucking matter. One guy had numbers of 1.8 period, and the other guy had 5 million in 3 months. Like, come on, people, wake the fuck up. You can't equate both the same way, man, because they're just too different, man. They're just too different. I'm sorry to bust your bubble. Gears fucking kicked ass. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I don't know what to fucking tell you. And people that, you know, talk about, well, you could barely find matches on PC. I mean, yeah, because you could barely find matches on PC with a lot of fucking games. What does that fucking mean? I'm just saying. You're like, well, you could barely find matches of Gears of War on PC. Yeah, that's with a lot of fucking games. It ain't just Gears. It's a lot of fucking games. Like, PC guys are very, very picky about what they play. They are. In Gears of War, you know what it is? It is very much a controller-based game. Very much so. Not saying you can't play with a mouse and keyboard, but it's, you know, the way the game is structured is mainly it's controller first, keyboard second. You know, because it's not a first-person shooter. So it is what it is, man. But yeah, so you hear people talking about Gears flop, man. Just look at them sideways. Be like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's all you got to say. The fuck is wrong with you? Gears War flop. The fuck. But this is your boy Livewire. And I'm out this bitch, baby.